After that, she found a cheaper place to live in, saying that we're getting in too many fights, so we gotta move somewhere where there isn't any. And then we started school. Like you can see in this map, in one of the bus stops, on the bottom right where the bus is at, where we could be dropped off early and have a longer walk home, or have a longer ride and have a shorter walk home. So I tried to strategize this by finding out who would make it home first. I was dropped off from the longer walk, and my brother was dropped off of the shorter walk. And for some strange reason, he got home first. But I wasn't quite convinced. Then I told my brother, let's do the opposite. And the next day we did. As I rode to the last bus stop, me and this guy got off the bus. And this guy wound up being a typical bully by saying, don't eat tomorrow, only give me your lunch money. Then we went our separate ways, only to find out why my brother was getting home first. He wasn't walking, he was running home. And I told my brother about the bully, and he said he had the same problem. Then I told him, in that case, we'll just get off early and have a longer walk home. But if he does get off with us, he's only one bully and we could gang up on him. And the next day we got off early, and so did the bully, asking, you two, where's my lunch money? Then I snapped and I picked up the metal garbage lid. He took off running as I threw it at him. But I missed, but at least he knew we were serious enough not to play that game. By the fourth day of us getting off the bus, this is what happened. The big guy said, I heard you was picking on my brother. And I said, he was trying to pick on us to get our lunch money. He said, I don't care, if I hear you picking on my brother again, I'm gonna beat the both of you up myself. At the fifth day, I got off the bus, and so did the bully. My brother noticed it and decided to stay in the bus until he got dropped off later. When I wasn't noticing, he went home to grab his bike to chase me down with it. Then I ran up to this rich person's looking house. When I was banging on the door, I said, help me. He said, shh, why are you trying to be so loud? I said, you're trying to get money out of me that I don't have to give because I don't get lunch money. And then he rode off, but I was sure glad I didn't tell him about our lunch tickets. And then we moved yet again. And when my mom started dating a few times, she finally made up with this guy that was going to soon be our stepdad. My mom wanted more quality time with him, so she signed me up for Cub Scouts. The Cub Scouts leader showed us our cabin. And with me that pays no attention and don't have no sense of direction, that's a bad combination. So I got mixed up by one group after another. Hey, you don't belong to my group, I suggest you go to your own. And then I got lost. And when I seen the light upstairs, I thought it was a good thing, so I went up. And when I looked through this glass sliding doors, I was noticing older kids in there, and it was Boy Scouts, and I was hoping they helped me out. And as they was leaving, I noticed two guys noticed me. The white guy ran and quickly opened the sliding doors, knocked me down, and the guy grabbed my throat and tried to push me off the edge while I grabbed onto the railings of the balcony, where I seen a lot of broken furniture down there. And the white guy said, I always get away with killing people. And his black friend said, how come you always gotta kill people you meet? Let this one go. And he did. And I've been nervous about heights ever since. Instructor helped bring me back. The next morning, I noticed I was being stalked by the same guy. Paying attention to this, I wound up being lost again. He came chasing me, so I ran off trying to zigzag through the buildings to lose him. At this point, I found a building with an indoor pool, and I always wanted to jump off the highest diving board. Even though I was worried about heights, I built up the courage to go to the last minute before everybody left. After I seen people start to leave, I jumped. As soon as I hit the bottom, I used my feet and legs to push me up. That's when I realized I made a mistake because that stalking bully killer was there. I've got you now. As I was swimming away, I heard him running. He was right in front of me, saying, you gotta come out sometime. Face it, no matter where you go, I'm gonna be right there. And I quickly thought I was a good underwater swimmer, and I didn't think he would see me, but he did. And because of panic, I wasn't thinking right. When I was getting up to get out and breathe, he was using his hand or hands to push me down to drown me. I was thinking, I'm a good underwater swimmer, so I swam down deeper. As soon as I got up from the middle, there's a lifeguard checking and locking the place down. As soon as he heard this, he tried to leave, but she caught him saying, what are you doing in here? He said, I was telling the other guy that he shouldn't be swimming near, he needs to get out. And then I left. And I finally got home and my mom asked, how did it go? And I only gave her a mean look. All this happened in the late 70s, early 80s. Even though I wasn't a Christian back then, I give God the credit to make me a survivor. I'm sure I'm not the only one.